happen and what will happen if I'm elected is we will look for patterns. And when you have patterns of fraud, or you have patterns where claims aren't being paid, or we have patterns where insureds are being taken advantage of, whether it's by roofers, whether it's by anyone, once that pattern is established, the department has the tools and the obligation to look into it. And the big tool when dealing with an insurance company is you can do a market conduct exam and you can request all this thing. Trust me, no insurance company wants that. It's expensive, it's bad press, and it sets them up for fines. So when those sorts of things start happening, it's kind of like having a kid at Christmas. And if you're lucky enough to have a child, niece, nephew, grandchild, whatever, at Christmas most people will say, Santa's watching. And why do they do that? They don't really want to care if Santa's watching. Don't put this on the internet if there's kids watching. But that's not what you're doing. You're modifying behavior. All behavior changes when it's observed. And the insurance companies will know when you have a new regulator who takes regulation seriously, but fairly, that they have to change their behavior to be acceptable. And that's all we're asking. We're not asking for freebies. We're just asking for them to pay the claims that they owe in a reasonable time frame. And the reason they slow pay claims, everybody, it's obvious, is when you slow pay, eventually people give up. You don't pay as much, or people go, yeah, okay, I will accept this offer even though I know this is reasonable. And the reason for that is most claims of that sort are not high dollar. Yours was a $6,500 claim. So you know what it would cost you to hire an attorney to fight that?
Way more than that.
Right, so are you going to do it?
Absolutely.
No, right? So that puts you in an unfair position. One of the things I believe in, and we'll take legislative initiative to do, is mandatory mediation that is non-binding. So when you talk about Florida, it's binding mandatory mediation. That's a bad deal. But mandatory mediation, to have that, as Christine noted, in Texas, and so the insured can request mediation if they're not getting satisfaction on their claim. The insurance company is then required to attend mediation. If you come to a solution, yay, everybody wins. Nobody goes to court. It's probably a bad deal for everybody, right? It's when we were young, the idea when you negotiated was if everybody came away unhappy, it was probably a good compromise, right? Most of us have heard that. So mediation kind of works that way. If you don't get a solution, then the insured still has the option to go to court. A friend of mine owns an insurance company in Texas. Over the course of 10 years, he got called to mediation. I don't know the exact number, hundreds of times. Never once went to court. In the last 2 years, been to court 40 times. Because the lawyers in Texas have figured out there's two things they can do. One is third-party funded litigation. So somebody will come in and say, like, we can get you $6,500. So sign a lien on your house over to us. We will find you an attorney. The attorney will do the work. They will do all the stuff. And when it's done, we'll take care of it. The attorney has no incentive to not spend money. Once the claim is finally settled, the attorney takes their cut. The funding company takes their cut. And then they come to you and go, yeah, there's no money left. Sometimes there's money left, but usually there's no money left. But you owe us this much money and we have a lien on your house which we won't release until you pay the money. And so Texas is addressing that. Alabama, there's a lot of states addressing it. I've talked to legislators on both sides of the aisle about that because I think that's going to be the next big wave here, which is going to be a problem. The insurance commissioner can have some impact, but it's legislative. There's a couple of other things that happen, but for the most part, the insurance commissioner has limited control except when they can force the hand or just give bad press. The opposite of Glenn Mulready. In March, when he was asked, is it a competitive market? Are rates too high? Do anybody remember his interview? I mean, even if it was true, and I said this to a guy who's a personal friend of his, that he's like, Glenn is like my brother. We're really good friends. He's a great guy. I said, ask him that. Say, even if that was true, did you not read the room? I mean, the state of Oklahoma had an insurance crisis. Claims were not being paid. So if it's not true that we don't have a competitive market, whatever else, you don't tell people, it's like, well, you're hungry? That's too bad. Everybody's hungry. I mean, that's not a solution to a problem. And we've had that situation for 16 years, and that needs to change. We need people to finally take the complaints and concerns of the state of Oklahoma seriously. I was talking to a Republican lobbyist about a week ago, and we were discussing the whole issue. So there's a new bill called House Bill 3781, which gives the next insurance commissioner the power to reject rates that are too high and forces insurance companies to file the rates before they start using them. before this bill goes into effect, Oklahoma was one of 3 states that the insurance companies could start using the rates before they submitted them for approval. And so the conversation I had with him went along this line, is that the people of Oklahoma have had enough. They let the legislators, Republican, Independent, Democrat, know they've had enough. With such loud voices that they passed this bill overwhelmingly. It's like 82% passed the bill and went to the governor's desk, and the governor signed it. And so when people are upset enough, you should be able to read the room and know that. So anyhow,